I'm here tonight. I get to talk to my old friend, Calista Rodish. I even said it right tonight. I'm so proud of
Yes.
myself. How you been doing?
I've been good. I've been really good. Just practicing a lot, getting ready. Just wrestling. It's my whole life right
Awesome.
now.
Well, I thought we'd hit some of the really important questions right out the bat. Um, People think wrestling's your big thing, but it's actually cooking.
Yeah.
What are some of the new things you've been working on in the kitchen?
Well, I just made a really yummy dinner tonight, actually, for my whole entire family. Every Sunday we have like a Sunday family dinner. It's the one night a week that everyone kind of has off, so we all try to come together. I made a caramelized onion creamy pasta, and then I made some filet to go on top of it that I cooked in a cast iron. So that was what I made tonight. That was really yummy. I've been really into cooking breads lately too. That's a new thing that I've been doing. I used to start up a sourdough every single summer, but then it kind of dies off in wrestling season because I don't have time to feed it every single
Yeah,
week, make the breads with it every week. But I want to start that back up the second that wrestling season is over. So those are my
nice.
two things that I'm doing right now.
Very good. Last time I kind of stumped you on this question, but
Mhm.
if you had the opportunity to go against Bobby Flay, what's going to be your signature dish?
Oh gosh, I have so many. I have so many. I mean, I've been really, really into cooking steaks lately. I don't know if I said that last time. I don't remember what my answer was last
I
time.
think it was a saffron last time, is what you said, or
Yeah, yeah, I would have to do some type of like a cheddar jalapeno sourdough right off the bat. That's my go-to. I would do filet cooked in a cast iron medium rare. I would do a cognac cream sauce. So you get to light it on fire and watch it kind of burn. Those are my favorite kind of sauces to do. And then maybe a twice baked potato of some type, sauteed veggies, lemon asparagus, something like that. Something simple but homey, good for the soul.
but if you need anybody to practice these meals on, I'm willing to come to Waukee. It's
Oh, I'm sure
it's
you are. That's what everyone tells me. I always get questions to be like a personal chef or meal prep for me or this or that.
other things, I see probably from your parents a little bit more about their favorite child, Rebel. How's
Yeah.
Rebel doing?
Oh, he's great. He's always great. He runs this house around here. I mean, what are you going to do? Unless you've had a red bone hound, I don't think you're going to understand what it's like having one of those. I mean, he's his own mind. He is his own person around here. I mean, he's not just a dog. Like, he has his own personality, his own being, his own traits. He's just crazy. We just let him run at this point. He comes back for dinner time and then we let him back out again.
So he's living his best dog life.
Oh, for sure. For sure. He runs the town over here.
Very nice. The season going pretty well this year, 40-0. That's not shabby. That's all right. Ranked number one.
Yeah, not
Um,
at
what have some of the highlights of the season been? And maybe
all.
not just the wrestling part, but just what are some of the fun highlights you've had during the season?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, what my favorite memories are going out with my girls to eat after every single tournament we do. We've been really into Taco Bell this year. We've gone probably 7 or 8 plus times. I get a Crunchwrap Supreme and a Baja Blast large. That's my order, go to every single time. That's one of my favorite outside of wrestling memories. One of my favorite wrestling memories. Ooh, maybe Donnybrook finals. That was a really, really good, exciting match for me. I think it's kind of hard to, with the state of girls wrestling that it is now, it's hard to get really good matches with girls that know how to flow, right? Girls are
Yep.
coming up on being 3, 4, 5 years deep into this, but they're not 6 or 7 or 8 like the guys. They don't have that connection yet, that chain wrestling. They haven't learned that. And the girl that I wrestled in Donnybrook finals, she knew that, right? We were flowing the whole entire match. It was exciting. There wasn't 10 seconds where we weren't in a new position where we were fighting for top, you know? So I think that was one of my favorite matches to wrestle. Even if I won or didn't win that match, I think that that would have been my favorite match that I wrestled this season, just
Yeah,
because of how good she was. I mean, she was an amazing wrestler.
there's nothing better than having to work through those things and figure it out on the fly. But that's why you've been doing this a long time. When did you start wrestling? Let's go back there first.
Oh gosh. Well, I started wrestling. I took classes in kindergarten, first and second grade, and I took those alongside with my MMA and my jujitsu classes when my mom was going to all of her practices. I went with her. So I did that for 3 years. And then I took a break and tried a bunch of other sports, volleyball, gymnastics, whatever. And then I believe I started back up again in seventh grade with the boys. because I
Yep, yep.
wrestled in the middle school boys practices.
That makes sense. That must have been around that COVID time too, wasn't it? Was
Yeah.
it?
Mhm.
Yeah. I was
I
trying to
think it's
think
been
because
a year before that is when I started.
gotcha. Yeah,
Yeah.
because I mean I have some vague memories of like taping your ankle at Twin River Duels and
Yeah.
you and Cadence coming over during I know that was during COVID when you guys came over and practiced and
Yeah.
just some things. So you've been around a long time. And I always find this interesting and it happens all the time. And people just think that all of a sudden Calista was this awesome wrestler, ranked number one, 40, 40 wins, but there's a lot that goes into being where you're at. And I just thought it would be kind of an interesting thing just to see what some of the things that you do outside of just your normal 2 hours a day of wrestling practice at the high school.
Yeah. Well, in the summertime, especially, I'm hitting Pablo Bassa Club practices 5 to 6 days a week. I hit those. He has them from 6 to 8 p.m. And then in the morning times too, we go to Johnston High School and we run laps there. We do morning runs every single morning, and then I go to practices every single night. I'll lift in between those. I'll go on runs out on my gravel road. I live out in the country, so it's really nice. There's a little 4 mile square that I run at least 3 times a week. Just a lot. I mean, just physical labor to keep my body going, to keep it in wrestling shape. Wrestling shape is one of the hardest shapes to keep your body in. So just a lot of physical labor and work.
Yeah. And being out on the farm, you probably have to do a lot of different little things around.
Oh
So that
yeah. Oh
never
yeah.
never hurts.
Yeah.
You
You don't
have
know how
also
hard it is to chase a donkey back into the pasture. So that's a
yeah,
workout.
I bet it is. I've never had to chase a donkey back in the pasture, so
You're lucky.
I've played with pigs a few times, so I know how it goes. But yeah, it's fun. You have actually struggled the last few years with some injuries and working through those injuries. How does that more so the physical part, but the mental part is really hard to deal with. How have you dealt with just the mental part of injury?
Yeah, it is heartbreaking. There's no other way to describe it. I've had two torn meniscuses almost a year apart. It was like 367 days apart were my two surgeries, something crazy
Oh
like
wow.
it is just, I mean, it is absolutely heartbreaking to know that you're putting so much effort into the sport and then for something like that to just set you back and you feel like you're starting at square one again. I think I got really, really lucky. I had an amazing physical therapist that helped me through both of them down at the Athletico in Waukee. She was, I mean, amazing. We worked through so many different exercises. She was there every single day to help me when I felt like I couldn't do something, when I would start crying, I felt like the weight was too much. I couldn't take my shots. She was there through everything. My trainers were really amazing. I think it's just important to remember that it will pass, right? This too shall pass. Everything happens for a reason. I've had so many setbacks in wrestling, injuries, losses, etc. And it's just important to remember that that's just the universe's timing. Maybe it's not meant for me then, but I will come back stronger than ever. That's my whole entire purpose, is to just keep going, keep pushing through it. And that's just what you got to do in those scenarios. You can't back down at that point. You just got to go through it.
Yeah, that's really good. That's really good to hear and say because that's really truly what your coaches and I and all the other coaches want to hear from our athletes because wrestling's only a short period of our time, right? We only do that for a few years and then you got the rest of your life to live and bad things are going to happen then too. So
Yeah,
being able
for
to work
sure.
being able to work through those are really awesome. I'm really happy you said that. That's really good advice. I like that. Um, this sport a lot of ups and downs. It's fun. It's brutal. But let's look at some of the fun things. What are some of the fun things that you've really enjoyed doing in this sport?
Oh, there are so many. I mean, this sport, I mean, it's this thing in my life that I've had the highest highs and the lowest lows in, right? I mean, there's just so many memories over the years. All of my out of state tournaments that I go and we do long road trips with my best friends that I go to Washington or to Las Vegas or to California, wherever. I think some of the favorite places that I've been to were my freestyle tournaments. I think that those are the best. Fargo too. I think that's always exciting, getting to go in a hotel room with four girls that you are either really close with or you don't know and you get to become close with. And those are friends that you'll know for the rest of your life because you've met at a tournament and you stayed in a hotel together. Just memories like that, I think that really bring me joy when I go back and think about it. It's not even the wins or the losses or the wrestling that I really think about when I reflect on my time wrestling, but it's the people that I've met, the places that I've gone, the friends that I've made that I really keep with me.
Like that. Very good. What, if you could think is there like the proudest moment you can think of in the sport? And it might not have been a win. It might have been something that you did within the sport. You know,
Yeah.
can you think of a proud moment?
I think this might sound cheesy, and if my sister sees this, she might start to cry. So, Riley, you might want to skip over this. I think my proudest moment that I've had most recently, at least that I can remember, was it was my senior night a couple of weeks ago. We had it at our home duel, was walking through and getting to shake my sister's hand and her handing me my rose and my little senior blanket that I got and hugging me. That was probably my proudest moment, was knowing that I made her proud with my accomplishments. I mean, that's why I started the sport. I said it over the announcements when I was walking through my senior night, was I started wrestling because I wanted to be like my sister. She was my biggest role model growing up. She was my best friend. I wanted to be everything that Riley Rodish was, you know. I mean, that's who my role model was. So I think knowing that I made her proud that night was my proudest moment.
Well, I might cry.
I know,
You
me
kind
too.
of got me a little bit there.
I know when I start, I can't think too hard on it.
Yeah. No, I senior night is probably, as a coach, that's one of my hardest nights of the year. I love it, but I hate it at the same minute. And that and awards night are the two nights I think I hate the worst because I have to say goodbye. Yeah.
I know. I've been a mess this whole season just knowing that I'm hitting so many of my last time doing these things, last time at my like home tournaments or home duels or even just random tournaments that I've gone to for the past 4 years. It was my last time going to that. Just so many ends this year.
Yeah. So when we look at that and you see like a freshman or a sophomore and they think the season is so long and they think, oh my God, it's never going to get done. What advice can you give to underclassmen about honestly how fast this goes?
Um, I feel like everyone says it, but you're gonna look back on it and felt like it went by like that. I can remember my very first practice as a freshman walking in and not knowing everyone, kind of saying hi to James Biscaglia and Katie Biscaglia, a girl that I kind of knew from Waukee, and seeing a bunch of new faces. And then flashback 4 years, it felt like the blink of an eye, and it's gone, it's over, it's done with. I would say savor the moment as much as you can. This sport is going to bring you to your limits. It is going to test you in a way that you've never been tested before. And through all of that, it is so important to remember to just stay in the moment and be with it and make the memories.
Yeah.
I think that's what I would say to them.
And do those wins and losses really mean anything? Are they that important?
No, no, they're not at all. Some of my biggest losses, honestly, if I didn't have those, I wouldn't be the person who I was today. My state finals last year was one of the most heartbreaking matches I've ever wrestled in my life. And yet, if I didn't have that match, I would not be who I was today. I would have not learned the lessons that I did on patience and resilience and to continue going. So I think that even the losses are so much more important than the wins.
Awesome. And we talked a little before hitting the record button. This year you've taken a little different approach to the weight cut.
Yeah,
How
yeah,
what's
for sure.
what has this year been like? And
Um,
what's the difference?
it's been amazing. Let me tell you, I'm eating 3 meals a day. I'm eating snacks. I'm drinking water at night. I'm not going in saunas. Um, there's obviously two different categories into this. There's physical and there's the mental aspect of weight cutting. Physically, obviously, it's so draining and demanding, or it can be if you're not properly weight cutting too. I think that's a big thing with girls is they don't know how to properly weight cut or they don't want to. So instead of going 3 or 4 months and having a healthy diet, they'll just within a week or 2 weeks, they'll stop eating or they'll be eating such small amounts. They won't be drinking water properly. I think things like that. I mean, even I was doing it my freshman and sophomore year. You feel drained. You're walking around school. You have brain fog because you haven't been eating properly. You're in school in 2 layers and spitting in a cup when no one's looking. It's not fun. It can really take the love out of the sport. It can take your passion out of the sport if you're not doing it correctly too. So that's the physical aspect of it, but the mental aspect of it, I mean, this, if you're not watching what you're doing, I think it's really important to focus on this, is that it can cause problems later down the line, right? I mean, no one really wants to talk about it, but I think that eating disorders can be such a prevalent thing in teenage girls and young girls already. So to then go into a sport where you have to step on the scale every single day and weigh yourself in front of people every single day and think that you have to be at a smaller weight that than you are, or else you won't be like good, or you won't be accepted like from your coach or from your parents or your other teammates because you missed weight at a big duel. It can be a really scary thing. It can really mess with you mentally. So I think it's important to just take a step back and understand, yes, this is wrestling, and yes, it's a high school sport, and that is important, but also your health is more important. I think we need to be prioritizing being at the correct weight that we're at, being on meal plans that are correct for us, drinking the proper amount of water, not overworking ourselves to such an extent to make weight every single day. I think it's very important to focus on that.
That is really good. Yeah, I wish more people had that attitude. I can tell you, and it was just the old school way of doing things. I did the horrible weight cuts, and then I did exactly what you did in college. I found a weight that was natural for my body, and all of a sudden wrestling changed, and it was having fun and enjoying it. Because you're not a short person. How tall
No,
are you?
I think I'm like 5'6", 5'7" almost. So
Yeah,
I'm over the regular height.
yeah. So you wrestling? What'd you wrestle last year? 130? Was it? What
135. So every single year
135?
I've gone up a weight class.
Okay.
Well,
Okay.
my freshman, but a little backstory that most of the people don't know, right before, because you register for weight, obviously before
Yep.
you that, I got really, really sick a couple days before that. And I lost like 5 or 6 pounds in 1 or 2 days. And then I stayed at that weight for the whole entire year because I registered at 120 then.
Uh-huh.
So I was probably 126, 127. And then I registered at 120, and I had to maintain that all year after jumping down to that weight by being sick. It wasn't a healthy way for me to drop that weight.
And so that was
So
a rough year. That was a really rough year, I bet.
really
Yeah.
rough year. Even my sophomore year being at 125 was rough. And then I worked my way back up into just understanding and comprehending that that wasn't a healthy way for me. I thought that that's what I had to be at. And over the years, learning that it's okay to gain some weight as you get older, as you grow, your body changes. It's okay to gain weight. And it's not always a bad thing. Sometimes it's your body protecting itself. Simply,
Yeah.
that's just what it is.
Yeah. There's a lot of things, especially in, girls' weight cuts, that can mess you up for later in life and reproductively later in life and things
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
that.
I
So
mean,
I
everything.
I talk about it a lot. I've been around the girls for a long time, so I'm old grandpa to them, so I can say whatever I want.
Yeah.
I'm not one of those embarrassed coaches. I'll talk about it. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's important to know. And 140 pounds at 5'7" in really good shape. That's not a that's a natural weight. That's not that's not something to be like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
she's 140 pounds now. Why isn't she at 125?
I
But
know.
yeah, that's just a normal, natural, healthy. Obviously, it's working out well for you weight, and it's
Yeah.
great to have. And how mentally, you've talked about that, and physically, you feel great at tournaments, right?
Yes, for sure. And I feel like I'm less injury prone as well. When I was weight cutting really hard, I felt like every single injury that I had, whether it was minor or major, it took longer for me to recover. It hurt more. I was focusing on it more. And this year, I dislocate my finger, I jam a joint, whatever. I'm good in the next couple of days because my body has the proper nutrients inside of itself to be able to recover. That's the body's goal, that's their purpose. But when you're depriving yourself of those nutrients and those vitamins and those minerals and those proteins, it's harder to recover. And that's how I was for a lot of my freshman and sophomore year.
How's your energy level in matches? I mean, just do you get tired?
Um, I mean, a little bit. I feel like no matter how much you train at the end of a 6, 7 minute match, if you go into overtime, double, triple overtime, you're going to be exhausted. But it's not the kind of, I don't know how to explain it. No one would know what it's like unless you've experienced. It's a different kind of exhaustion. It's not like a deep within my bones kind of tired. It's oh, well,
Yeah.
I just worked out. Let me go do a cool down and take a couple deep breaths.
And
It's
is
very,
school easier without a weight cut?
yes, without a doubt, without a doubt. I think that, I mean, I get to eat breakfast and drink coffee every morning before I go into school. So I'm not in school in first period, my stomach's growling, I'm hunched over from the hunger. I get to go eat lunch and sit with all my friends and laugh instead of going and sitting in the library and hiding from the food and the smell of it. Then after practice, I get to go home and eat dinner. But also, I think just I have less brain fog. I feel like I'm in the moment more. I'm paying attention to my teacher. I'm not focused on how hungry or how thirsty or how overweight I am. I just get to be present in the moment. So school's a
Nice.
lot better.
And now, important question, what's your coffee order in the morning?
Well, it used to be I went to Smoky Row every single morning. It's on the way. It was my kryptonite. I was their biggest buyer. I probably spent thousands of dollars at Smoky Row. It was an iced white mocha latte with oat milk. But I just got an espresso machine for Christmas. So I've been making my coffees every single morning and saving myself $7 or $8. So that's really nice. And I make the same thing just at home.
They haven't like gone into bankruptcy yet. Everything's all right with the
Yeah,
coffee shop.
surprisingly. I don't know how because I felt like I was in there every single morning.
So you have the full espresso machine at home and you're doing all, doing your foam in the milk and all that stuff. What's your
Yeah, yeah.
favorite? How long did it take to figure that out? Because I've thought about getting one.
Not that long at all. I got one and mine was only like $50 too. I know there's really crazy expensive ones, $200, $300, and they would probably make a better coffee to be honest. But it works for me. I grind my coffee beans, I put it in the grounds, I just put it in, pour the water, and it's done. It's amazing.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very good.
I
So
think you should get one. If I had to
I
put my vote, I think it is worth the time and the money.
you're probably right. I'm just a black coffee guy though too. So maybe
Yeah,
espresso, maybe that would be better. Then I could just take a couple little shots a day and I'd be good to go.
for sure.
Working nights, you gotta have caffeine.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. When I was working nights at the hospital in the summertime, I worked overnights the whole entire summer and it was whoo, I was drinking Red Bulls like crazy.
And that's not good for you. You
No,
and
not at
Katie,
all.
what do you still drink Red Bulls?
Yes, I do.
What's your
I do.
favorite? What's your Red Bull flavor?
I do a zero sugar blueberry Red Bull. That's my
Blueberry.
favorite.
So
I've
last
tried
time I
to stay
talked,
away from it though. I only drink a couple a week now instead of every single
good.
day. Yeah.
Yeah, they're not good for you. Last time I talked to Katie, she was upset because peach Red Bulls were discontinued. Has she found a better flavor now?
She does the coconut berry one now. I don't know if that
Coconut
one just
berry.
came out. I hadn't had it before, but it's not too bad. I'd give it a try.
All right. So if we were gonna, if I'm doing your thumbnail for the YouTube page here, after a little bit, I'm really bad at coming up with taglines. What would you say a tagline for your wrestling career or where you're at right now would be?
I mean, do you want a couple words or a couple sentences? Because
Well, something that would catch the eye. I don't know. What do you
that would
think?
catch the eye.
I can go with whatever you want and I can work that.
Yeah. Oh, I might be coming up on blanks here, Troy. Oh,
How
a
can
thumb
can
like
you
a
think this? What about your journey? How's your journey been? Let's talk. Let's go from there. Your journey in wrestling. If you could just kind of summarize that, what has it been?
It has been a long road to pave. That is the thumbnail that I would use. A long
That is
road to
it. I like it. I like
yeah,
it.
short and
Very
sweet.
excited. So, and I'm going to ask this question. You may not know this yet. Well, actually, this may be. What's your plans after high school, college? I'm not asking about wrestling. What do you want to be?
I have a couple different checkpoints when I do this. I'm a very type A person. I have everything written out, 1, 5, 10 year goals, etc. I'm going to get my RN, become a registered nurse, and then I currently work at the Unity Point hospitals as a PSC. I sit with people who can't be by themselves for a multitude of reasons. We can get into that later if you want. But Unity Point will pay for you to get your RN to BSN bridge if you work for them for 3 years.
Uh-huh.
So I'm going to get my RN and then my BSN, and then hopefully work bedside for 2 years and then go back to school to become a nurse practitioner.
Oh,
That is what I,
wow.
yeah, yeah.
That's a hell of a goal. That's really good. I
I
don't
would love to
know.
be a doctor, but it takes a really, really long time. And I don't know if I could do it for 10 to 12 years. So,
Yeah. Well, nurse practitioner, there's not a whole lot of difference. Honestly, you just have to be underneath the doctor and you're
yeah,
probably not
yeah.
cutting anybody open just for fun, right?
And
You can
in
do that
certain
on the weekend though.
yeah. In certain states, I don't believe in Iowa, but in a lot of the states outside of the Midwest, being a nurse practitioner, you can own your own company as well. Like you don't have to work underneath a doctor in a lot of states outside of the Midwest. So if I
Mhm.
do move outside of Iowa, if I go to hopefully somewhere warm and with a beach, that's my main goal. Then I'll be able to either own my own practice or work not underneath a doctor, just as the highest level.
Is there much difference, and we're kind of getting off here, but uh, between nurse practitioner and physician's assistant, is there much of a difference?
Not really. It's the same amount of work, the same type of work. It's just that the scope of practice is different, where a nurse practitioner is more prescribing, diagnosing, etc. A physician's assistant is more working with what a doctor or someone else has already prescribed.
Oh, yeah,
That's
that
it's
makes
just
sense.
a different scope of practice essentially, but it's the same amount of
Gotcha.
years, everything.
Yeah, that's cool. That's crazy. You're that focused. I'll be 55 this year, and I'm still not sure what I want to be when I grow up. So,
Yeah.
you're way ahead of me. Um, do you think wrestling in any way, shape, or form is in your future? Not saying wrestling as a wrestler, but is coaching or officiating or something like that in your future?
Yeah, we just had our RW youth tournament yesterday, or what's today? Yeah, so we had it this
Yeah.
morning actually. I've done so much today. I officiated at the RRW youth tournament today, and that was super fun. I would love to do that in college or sometime just to make a quick extra buck. I would love to coach as I got older, and if I have the time for it, I'm going to be so busy these next couple years that I don't know if I
Oh
will
yeah.
have. Wrestling, I love the sport so much with all of my heart. I wouldn't be the person who I was without it. But I feel like my body's just tired. I've gone through so many injuries, surgeries, all my fingers are broken. I can't press like a doorbell without my thumb popping out of place. I think my
That's
body's just done, even if my mind isn't, unfortunately. So,
I'll be real honest with you. The coaching and even officiating might be more rewarding than the actual sport itself. The giving back part is probably more important anyway. So I'm
I agree.
hoping that we'll see you in the sport in some fashion. But of course, you got some big goals to hit.
That I
I
do.
think I'm going to change up again our interview just a little bit, and let's talk about that food in good and bad ways. But what's your go-to right after weighing in?
Ooh, well, I've been going on a journey right now where I'm trying to be as not on I don't want to say gluten free and dairy free, but just as little as possible. I feel like I've been having a lot of like stomach issues and just bloating and et cetera, et cetera. So I used to do a number 4 Jimmy John's extra mayo every single time. Now I've been doing there's really good gluten-free bread from Trader Joe's that I found. So I've been making kind of like my own homemade club sandwiches that I bring
Okay.
every single time. So it is a whole grain gluten-free 2 bread loaves, and then I do turkey, bacon, salami, lettuce, cucumber, spinach, and then
Nice.
pepper jack cheese and extra mayo always. I bring the mayo in a bag so that my bread doesn't get soggy. And it's like a whole entire Ziploc baggie of mayo. And I just bite the tip off and I like spread it all over my
Oh my
sandwich.
God, that's a great idea. That's a
Yeah,
really
it
because
really is.
that's the worst part about the sandwich. If you get a Jimmy John's and you got it, you save it for the next day, it's the soggy bread or Subway. Jimmy John's is way better.
Yeah.
But no, that sounds like a fantastic sandwich. Now, between matches, you maybe have half hour, 45 minutes. We got to get our energy up. What's some of the things that maybe you have between a match?
Um, I always have to have some essentials for snacks that are in my lunchbox, crispy green grapes every single time. On the vine preferably. I've started doing where I'll put them in a bag and then I'll put ice water in a bag. Like I'll put the bag of grapes in a bag of ice water. So they're kind of frozen a little bit and like hard and crunchy.
Mhm.
Killer when you just wrestled a hard match, let me tell you. I do
That sounds fantastic.
It really is. And then I do Rice Krispies, the home style Rice Krispies as well. I know they're probably not the best for you, but just a little quick burst of sugar. I'm all here
Yeah.
for it. And then I also make my parents, actually, from when they used to own their restaurants, their protein ball recipe. So
Mhm.
I make that every single tournament that I go to. It's like oats, peanut butter, honey, almonds, coconut flakes, and then M&Ms.
That sounds really good too. Dang, I'm gonna pack double at state and I'll come hang out with you.
Okay, I will.
All right. Um, I've been asking this question a lot of the coaches, and is there a favorite restaurant you like to go out to in the Waukee area, or that the family goes out to in the Waukee area that's always awesome to go to?
Yeah, that's really hard. Well, we used to be in the Waukee area and then we moved kind of 20 minutes away from everything. We're out in like Cummings, Iowa now
Oh,
because
okay. Yeah, you're kind of out in the middle of nowhere, aren't you?
yeah, I know. So everything's like 20, 30 minutes away. There is a restaurant that, fun fact, I used to work at when I was like a freshman, eighth grade, a freshman. It's called The Chicken. It's up in Arilla, I believe, right next to Norwalk. They
Okay.
have really, really yummy Nashville hot chicken sliders. So if you're ever in the area, go, I would say go to The Chicken. Otherwise, there's a restaurant that I know my family loves also, but I get a lot because I go sometimes you get to leave for lunch, like when you're a senior at the high school. And there's a place called Ninja Sushi Ramen. It's right next to the high school. I get that every single time I leave for lunch.
What's your ramen order?
Ooh, well, I get sushi. I get
Oh,
sushi.
okay. All right. What's our roll? What's your
I'm
favorite
a
roll?
big sushi girl. A spice. I'm basic. I get a spicy tuna roll every single time.
Not bad
Delicious.
though. It's not bad.
Not at all. And it's because it's, I find, so I'm really passionate about this subject. So if I get too off topic, just cut me
No,
off.
no, you're good. You're fine. I love sushi too. If there's a sushi place, I'm there. I even was in Sam's Club today and I was so close to
Oh,
grabbing
they
some
have
Sam's
the
sushi.
best sushi. Every time me and my mom go shopping, we buy their big, like the 40 packs of sushi. We get that and we have it for lunch.
Oh,
Hmm.
I should have got it because I was like, I don't know about Sam's sushi. I don't, it just,
You should next
but
time. They have their own like they like put like bring in like a sushi, like a chef that makes
yeah,
the
they were making them right there, and I was like, well, it can't be all bad. I was a little worried about discount tuna though.
yeah, yeah, I get that. But oh, I love Ninja's spicy tuna roll because I feel like a lot of spicy tuna rolls aren't really spicy. Theirs
Hmm.
has a little bit of a kick to it. And they put in the crispy, I don't know if it's like rice bits or whatever, but it's like crispy, so it has a crunch to it. So
All
that's
right.
it's bomb. I would recommend.
Since we're talking sushi, do you put a little wasabi on it?
Ooh, I use a lot of wasabi, but
I
I mix my wasabi in with my soy sauce.
Ooh, you mix it.
Yeah,
Ah,
I don't know if my dad's done that. I've done that since I was little. I don't know if that's a weird thing, but I mix it in so it gets the same amount of wasabi every bite.
that's not a bad idea. Because sometimes I get just, you get a little too much wasabi and it's like, whew,
Oh, oh,
clean the
I know.
sinuses out real well. But I love the stuff. That's a really good idea. See, this is why I talk to you.
Yeah.
The,
I feel like
the
I'm the
important
most
things.
inventive in the food category. That's
Yeah.
like my thing.
The really important things in life are kind of what we talk about. So,
Yeah, for sure.
vacation spots. Do you have a bucket list vacation spot?
Oh, I have so many. I have so many.
Give me the
I
top three.
top three, Italy,
Yeah.
right off the bat. I would love to live in Italy too. Like if I became rich enough where I didn't have to know the cost of bread, I never had to check my bank account. The first place that I would buy a home would be in Italy. Italy, I would love to go to Greece. I was always really into Greek and Roman like gods. Like I read every single Rick Riordan book, all of the Percy Jackson series, like the Greek, Roman, Egyptian series. I read all of that. So Italy, Greece, and then I haven't been to Hawaii, and I hear it's like the paradise of the world. I would love to go there, but
There you go.
everything's really expensive there, I've heard.
Well, you got a good three. Those are really good
Yeah.
ones. So this is kind of a hypothetical state finals match. You get an opportunity to hit that one big move that you've
Yeah.
always wanted to hit, and maybe you never hit in a match. What is that big move to hit?
A big move to hit. Well, when I think big moves, I think freestyle moves. And I feel like a lot
Yeah,
of the freestyle moves are lingering on illegal and folk style. Um, I love in freestyle a beautiful lat double immediately. That's one of the most beautiful moves to hit in freestyle, I feel. I would love to hit one of those. Or a classic for me is just I love a blast double. I love a beautiful up and down with a blast double. So if I could realistically do a move in the finals, that's what I would hit a
just straight
beautiful
through them
last
all.
double. Yep. Take four steps with them up in the air. Give them
Truck
some
them
air.
down straight
Yeah.
to the back. That'd be yeah. There's not much better than that.
A
That's
classic.
wrestling. Yeah, that
Mhm.
is wrestling right there. Um, New rule set happened last year. Has it really works well with your style, I'm assuming?
Yeah, for sure.
Anything you would change in the rule sets right now?
Um, I would change something to do with stalling. I feel like in freestyle, they have where you have to be wrestling or if you're being passive. I would add maybe passivity into folk style
Yeah.
wrestling. I feel like it's a lot of the girls. I mean, I understand that they're obviously newer. They don't really know what to do. They kind of just want to be more defensive in the sport, but I
Hmm.
think you learn by being offensive in those matches. So I think if we had a way for refs to continuously like have them be less passive and be more offensive, I think that would be nice.
Almost like a shot clock. That's not a
Yeah,
horrible idea.
yeah, I
Yeah.
agree. Because I think
I
that
like
sometimes
that.
it's hard to call stall calls with girls, you know?
Hmm.
They don't, because a
Yeah.
lot of them haven't been wrestling for super long, so they don't really understand how to like if they are stalling or if they're just like being defensive or etc. So I would add something like that.
Yeah, I like the idea of a shot clock. At least then you're getting the point if you're always aggressive and they keep backing out. I like that. That's a good idea. Um, probably when you started, actually for sure when Riley started, the term wrestle like a girl was pretty derogatory, right? I mean,
Yes.
but
Mhm.
now I think many things have changed. What do you think it means to wrestle like a girl?
Who to wrestle like a girl? Well, I think that you can change almost the wrestling out with any verb to run like a girl, to act like a girl, to be like a girl, etc. I think it means specifically in wrestling, but anywhere else to wrestle or hold yourself with dignity and grace and intelligence all in one. I mean, I feel like women are so many they fall under so many umbrellas all at once and they have to for the way that I mean our society runs, right? We have women are doing so many things daily and so many things at once without being seen or appreciated or noticed for that. So I think the term wrestle like a girl is to do all of those things and do them gracefully and do them respectfully and do them beautifully. Um,
That's a great answer. That really is a great answer. I like that. Um, I know you're getting in your senior year and you probably don't want to have a quiz, but I'm going to give you a one question quiz right now. Rest,
okay.
it's pass or fail, so it's not even really graded. Wrestling has taught me to blank.
Wrestling has taught me to blank. Is this I fill in, I give the question and you just decide if it's worthy?
Well, you tell me what wrestling's taught you, and I'll tell you if you passed.
Okay. Rest oh, wrestling has taught me to wrestling has taught me to I'm trying to think of if there's a quote or something like that. I don't think there is. Not a quote
No,
that I've
just, just, if you're overthinking it, you've talked about it all day long, what wrestling has given you and taught you and all these things, just dumb it down into one or two words.
I mean, wrestling's taught me how to live. Wrestling has taught me how to live my life.
There
I
you
think
go.
I
See?
failed. Did I
No,
fail?
you did not fail. You
Oh
see,
wow.
you thought way too hard on it.
Yeah, I
It
know.
wasn't a hard question. You're like, oh, I got to be philosophical and think really deep here. No, it's taught me, it's taught you how just to be you.
Yeah,
Perfect. Perfect.
for sure.
Um, a lot of girls, not sure if they want to wrestle. If I think if anybody tries it, they love it. It just seems like it's just that type of sport, especially a lot of times girls are told, well, go sit down and be quiet. I don't want to, stay with, and this is that opportunity to just go out and be rowdy and just little bit loud and have some fun. What advice would you give to girls that are not sure if they should try wrestling?
I everyone says it. Go out there and try it. Just do it. Not even for everyone says I feel like for a practice or for a couple of practices, right? I would tell them honestly, those first couple practices or that first month or that first year is going to be hard. You're gonna want to quit. You're not gonna know what you're doing. You're gonna feel awkward. You're not gonna know how to move your body or any of the moves. You're gonna feel like everyone else is so much better than you. Just go out there and do it. Try it, experience it. I feel like it teaches you so many life lessons that you would not get in any other sport, right? Wrestling is the most physically and mentally hard sport you can do in high school. But with that, you gain the most life lessons you will ever gain. So just go out there and try it and don't give up after your first week or month or year of it feeling hard.
Very good. Well, Man, I always enjoy talking to you. I always enjoy seeing you. I'm excited for you to, finish off this senior year the right way.
Yeah,
Good
yeah,
luck the rest of the season. Not a lot left, very little bit left, and I'm going to see you here in a week or so. Actually, 2 weeks,
yeah. I know that's
week,
crazy to
week,
think about,
week and
isn't
a half. And that, yeah,
it?
it's gone so fast. So I'm super excited to see you. Do you have one final thought for anyone out there today?
One final thought. Reflect on your past actions. Reflect on them, whether they're in the sport or outside of the sport. Reflect on them and see if they are you, and if they're not, change them. I feel like that's something that I have done this past year specifically. I've looked back on my life, on who I was and the actions that I did. And I really had to decide whether that's who I was, if they were good actions that I've done, like whether they were in the sport or not, if they were truly who I was or if they weren't. And if they weren't who I was, then I changed them. That's what I would,
Yeah,
the thought that I would leave with.
that's a great thought. Well, thank you very much, young lady. Good luck. Good luck Friday.
Yeah, thank you.
Um,
Thank you.
and I will see you in a week.
Perfect. Yeah, I'll see you soon.
All right, bye bye.